develop project management plan. And one key point now you guys should start taking a note of: the output from the previous process is actually being fed as an input to this process. The output of the previous process was project charter. Now you need to know and correlate of the understanding what I was sharing with you yesterday, saying a develop project charter results into a project charter. So the output of a develop project charter was project charter. And when we have to develop a project management plan, remember we have not completed many of the other activities. And if I see it from the process group perspective, we are now moving on to a second stage. The develop project charter was the stage one, which was the initiating process phase. In initiating, that was the first thing. Now, once we are on to the develop project management plan, we are on to the planning portion of our project, because the develop project management plan is part of the planning process group. And what are the inputs available for us till this stage? The first input, which is a project charter, which is basically an output of the previous process. The third and fourth input, I told you that the enterprise environment factors, which is EEF, and the second is an organizational process asset, OPA. These two items would continue to be the inputs to most of the processes going forward. So this is there by default. And the second input is something what you pay attention to is known as output from other processes. So what is that we meant by the output from other processes? I would cover up shortly for you. The tools and techniques, they remain the same, saying you have the expert judgment and you have facilitation techniques. What would be the output? Very easy to correlate: project management plan. Remember, I was talking to you on the other 9 processes, the knowledge areas as well, very clearly telling you that a project communication plan management results into an output of communication management plan. Similarly, develop project management plan results into an output of project management plan. And why I am giving an emphasis on the various inputs and outputs is actually to give you a fair understanding, so that once you know various inputs and outputs, it will be easy for you to correlate why that process is needed and what is that process is all about. And you may be given some questions very clearly to know that whether you know of various inputs and outputs of the different processes. So the way I would like to propose is that we need to understand the various inputs and outputs rather than cramming it. I would avoid cramming those things, because cramming would not stay in your mind for long. But the PMP is one such exam which you can clear only if you have absorbed various concepts and you have got a good understanding of the topics. Cramming would not yield into a positive outcome for you very clearly. So I would avoid to the extent possible. Please do not cram. Please try to understand wherever you can. So very clear, we are into the develop project management plan, which is the part of planning process group. We have taken the output from the previous process, which is project charter, as an input. We have taken EEF, we have taken OPA, we have tools and techniques as expert judgment, facilitation technique, and output is going to be project management plan. So what are the project management plan? The project management plan very clearly defines how we are going to execute this project. It also defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled. And this is going to be a plan which will be helping us to manage, coordinate, and integrate at different knowledge areas and processes within the project. So the process of creating the project management plan, what are the other plans what we are going to talk about? You remember in the input section, there was something called as an output from other processes. So this is what I am explaining this to you on slide number 19. The output from other processes means, let me start with the project scope management first. The first is the scope management plan. That is the output from the fifth knowledge area, after fifth module, which is the second knowledge area. The scope management plan would be one of the outputs. Requirements management plan would be the second output from the scope process. Then comes your schedule management plan, which will be an output of your project time management process. The output from project cost management process is going to be a cost management plan. Then similarly, the quality management plan, the process improvement plan, human resource plan, the communication management plan, risk management plan, procurement management plan, change management plan, configuration management plan, staffing management plan, risk response plan, milestone list, resource calendar, cost baseline, quality baseline, scope baseline, risk register, various logs, change logs. Let me explain these terms one by one now. Let me start with the scope management plan. The scope management plan defines how a scope is going to be planned, managed, and monitored across the project. A requirements management plan very clearly indicates how are going to be the project requirements defined, how would you gather those requirements, and how you do manage those requirements very clearly. So for you to understand these management plan, remember what each of these plan is going to be doing is that dealing with the respective area planning, how that area can be planned, managed, and controlled. These are going to be the three keywords for you to know what is going to be meant by the respective management plan. Cost management plan means how the cost is going to be planned, estimated, budgeted, monitored, controlled. Quality management plan will tell you how do you want to plan for the quality, how do you want to actually see various quality assurance coming into the play, and what is going to be the control measures for you from the quality perspective. And this would also result into a process improvement plan. If you look at from a quality process, and if the process is not resulting into the quality what has been benchmarked or the standards what have been defined in the beginning, a process improvement plan comes into the play for the improvement on the quality as such. Human resource plan very clearly helps us to define how are we going to bring in the project members into the project, how will we take care of their training needs, their roles and responsibilities, their roles and rewards and recognition. Communication would very clearly define in how the communication is going to be done in the various with the various stakeholders. Risk management plan will very clearly helps us to identify and manage the various risks. Procurement management plan will help us to control the procurement. Change management plan would help us to bring in a change once the changes are initiated and approved by the change control board. We would follow the change management plan. Configuration management plan is a kind of a part of our input to the control scope process. It very clearly defines on how to change various features and functions to suit the final output. Staffing management plan gives us an indication of how we are going to be meeting the staffing requirements. In case we need to negotiate with an outside supplier on the manpower, or we should be able to manage it within the team and stuff. So this is all what is being taken up as an input from the perspective of the developed project management plan. Risk response plan is very clearly a strategy to deal with various risks which are identified. Milestone we already covered that what are the different milestones we are going to set. Resource calendar is a kind of calendar of the people who are going to be working in the project. And resource calendar would also mean that it's a human resource calendar or a timings availability. You need to consider in your mind that the people who are working into the project, those people may be located at one single place, maybe in one organization, maybe in one office. They could be working in from different geographies. They could be working in different countries altogether. So from that perspective, you must know the availability of each of the resources, and you also know by the regions that since it is going to be multiple regions or multiple cities, there would be some kind of non-availability of the respective people, either because of their own schedule or because of maybe various cultural festival or maybe a government holidays and stuff. You need to keep all those activities in the mind. And three main items, which are cost baseline, quality baseline, and a scope baseline. These are the three items which are again the input back to the developed project management plan. Remember, we discussed on these three plans yesterday with a message very clearly that once these plans are approved, the cost baseline, the quality baseline, and the scope baseline, any changes to these three baselines after they are freezed can only be done by the change request management process. That means we need to bring back the issue to the change control board, which is CCB, and then only those changes can happen. Next term comes as a risk register. Risk register is nothing but a sheet of paper which would help us to document what are going to be the different risks, and this is also called as a database of all the possible risks which you can encounter, and those risks are actually taken care of in a risk response plan wherein you will define a strategy to deal with that kind of risk. Then comes an issue log. All the issues are identified and there is a numbering system, so there is a log which is maintained. And there is an assumption log also, like once you execute a project, you take various assumptions into the play. So even those assumptions are documented. Then comes the change log. All the changes which we are entering into a project, there is a change log which gets created. And these are also pretty much related with your change management plan as such. So this is what is various, maybe the indication for us for the various terms, which would be used in and out once we talk about on the processes as such. So you need to remember those terms very clearly from the perspective of the terms getting used again.